Hey folks, this is NorbReviews. Today we're taking a look at the Plantronics BackBeat Go 810 wireless active noise cancelling headphones. These were released back in 2018 before Plantronics became Poly, P-O-L-Y, and they were priced at $200. These now sell for $60, which puts these sub-luxury headphones in a very affordable range. Here's the short of it. I like these, but competition has caught up. Note that this is a full review. You can skip around to different sections using the chapter breaks in the timeline below. If you are interested in just the scores, skip to the conclusion section. If you find this video informative, please be sure to hit thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please be sure to hit subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. Also, you can follow me on social media for more content, links in the descriptions below. Just a couple of disclosures. Number one, I purchased my own equipment. Number two, I have no sponsors. So in the box, these include the headphones, a carrying pouch, 3.5mm cable, and USB-A to micro USB charging cable. Now, when it comes to the way they look, these are minimalist, as you can see, and I find them to be sophisticated in their look. The bronze-looking arm extenders here, I think are a great touch. And yeah, that is a loud click there. These come in three colors. They come in black, blue, and bone. I guess they were just looking for letter B words. These are well built, even if they feel a little bit weak around the headband. Now it looks like, just one little band of plastic up here. It's not. There's actually stuff down here reinforcing it. It can stand up to a fair amount of stress, and it does creak a fair amount, but I think that's just because of the plastic in the headband itself. I don't know if you can. As for the materials, you can see it's mostly plastic. There is fabric along the top. There's leather here on the side, and there is a little bit of rubber right here on the left-hand cup. The look is fairly uniform throughout, and I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so moving on to the ports and the buttons. On the right, you'll see the power and pairing button, the LED status light, the EQ button, which is also a mic mute button. There are two EQ settings, by the way, and this switches between them. On the left-hand side, you have the volume and active noise canceling control buttons. So for volume, it's just up or down, but to turn active noise canceling on or off, just press both at the same time and hold it. Underneath, you have the micro USB plug, and you have the 3.5mm audio port. And of course, you have the controls here on the side, skip forwards, come back, and then the play, pause, answer calls button. And if you hold it for a couple of seconds, you can go ahead and call your phone assistant this way. The physical buttons are all easy to find. You can see identifying them through feel is very easy. They're also good quality buttons. They don't wobble around or anything. I am very impressed with how well Plantronics designed the functions of these buttons. The overall user interaction design of this is great. It's better than some models that I've tried, which cost 4 times as much. Now to pair these, it's a simple process. Just press and hold this up, and then pairing indicator will turn on. You can actively pair these with 2 devices at once. For the most part, they were comfortable, but then the ear pads. So we'll get to those in a second. Along the top, of course, you have a fabric down here, and I found this to be nice and soft. The clamping force wasn't too harsh, and it doesn't need to be because these headphones are light, 224 grams or 8 ounces. They are not very heavy at all, and I never once felt pressure in the head. But the ear cushions themselves are a little bit on the stiff side, and they are small, at least smaller than my ears, so they pressed on them on a regular basis. Ear heat was never a problem. Pressure and fatigue absolutely were, and at about 30-45 minutes, I had to take them off. These aren't necessarily for bigger heads, but they could be. They fit me just fine for the most part. The ear cups are a little small, but on the whole, they're okay. They fit just fine, but only just. They are extended all the way, so if my head were just a little larger, these would not be comfortable. Now, as for glasses, these aren't all that great. If you wear them for 30 or 45 minutes, you're not going to have an issue, but if you wear them longer than that and you have glasses on, they will become a little bit fatiguing. Between the hard cushions and the pressure, it's not going to be the most comfortable experience in the world. Moving on to sound. These are definitely bass forward. Unfortunately, that sound ends up eating a little bit of the mids and in the highs, so it sounds a little bit more muddy than I would like. If you like a good rumble though, these have them by default in spades, and it does offer a nice warm sound. Now with the cable, things get noticeably different and sound improves. The downside for me was when I plugged these to my phone, the volume dropped dramatically. I don't know why it did it, and I didn't have the same experience with other headphones. When I plugged these with the computer, they were just fine. Now as for codecs, this only supports the SBC codec, which means that when you watch movies, there may be a tiny bit of lag. It also means that you won't get the highest quality sound that your streaming device will likely be able to offer, but it will work pretty much with all your equipment and they'll sound pretty good. If you want to modify the sound, the app features two modes, PLT Signature Balanced and Bright. They're bass heavy even in the Bright EQ setting, so expect to use a third-party EQ if you really want to modify the sound heavily. Now, when making phone calls, the voice I found to be very clear in quiet environments, but the mic picks up everything. So don't use these calls while doing the dishes, for example, and don't use them in rooms where you're going to have a lot of sound bouncing around. Moving on to active noise canceling. There are three settings, high, low, and off. High was decent, and for the price, it worked well enough. Low and off were fine too, but for best performance, just keep ANC on and on high. These advertise 22 hours with active noise canceling on and 28 hours with it off. I like that the software gives you the option of seeing time left or a percentage. One thing that impressed me was that this headset I thought had very good battery management for the price range. Most sets in this price range will drain the battery quickly if you leave active noise canceling on, even after you shut off the headphones. That's because the ANC will actually drain the battery. With these, you can set these to power off the ANC if you're not using them after a while, which is great. As for fast charging, a 10-minute charge will get you 3 hours of music. As for the software, you can download the BackBeat app from your App Store or Google Market. I found the software easy to use, fairly simple, well designed. I like that they include instruction videos right on the app as well. It's something that I wish more companies did. There is one huge annoyance though, but it's with the software in the device itself, not with the app. Every time there was an announcement on my phone, somebody texted me, for example, or I get a news alert, the music would stop. So for example, sometimes you'll go ahead and you'll get a ping or something and the music will mute a little bit and then the music will come back up again and continue playing the entire time. That didn't happen with these. No, as soon as you heard the ping, it would kill the music. Stop. Pause, whatever it is. And then you have to actually dig your phone again and play it again. I couldn't even use the button to play it again half of the time. It was really annoying. And in fact, it's the only part of this overall experience that I actively hated. Now for additional features, these don't have many, but they don't really need them. But these actually have a Find My Headset feature, which I thought was splendid. So this is divided into two sections. The first one is if you're still connected to your headset. If you're still connected to the headset, you press this button and the headset will start playing a noise. Loud enough that you should be able to find it. But if you lose them somewhere else, you go to the gym with them or something and you leave them at the gym, then what happens is that you look at the app and it shows you in the app the last known location of the headphones according to when they were connected to your phone, provided of course they have access to your location at all times. If you're a privacy hound, that may not work for you. Here are my takeaways. Note on my review scores, I go from 1 to 10. 1 is a complete disappointment. 10 is perfect and delightful. 5 is it's doing its job as I would expect, but nothing special stands out. Looks, 9 out of 10. Usually at this price you get big plastic hinges and a gaudy, plasticky look. None of those in here. These are clean and attractive. Yeah, they're made out of plastic, sure, but they're not overt. They're not garish. Build, 8 out of 10. For $60, these are sturdy, and though they crack a bit, they are at least as good as can be expected at this price. The material choices were excellent, but I do wish they had some kind of sweat resistance. Now, for the case itself, it's a bag, 4 out of 10. It feels like a gym bag too. I mean, it's nice material, but it feels like a gym bag. Comfort, 6 out of 10. The ear cups are a little bit small and I did experience a fair amount of ear fatigue after about 45 minutes. The clamping force I thought was fine, but they're not terribly comfortable with glasses, although I have experienced worse. The headband was excellent. Easily one of my favorites, especially with the fabric here at the bottom. And the weight at 224 grams or 8 ounces is on the lighter side, so you're not going to have it crushing your skull. Sound, 6 out of 10. These are bass forward, and they're fun to listen to if you like bass, but the mids are muddy and the highs are not terribly crisp. Software, 6 out of 10. It's clean, it's easy to use, they have instructional videos. I can't ask for anything more. Oh, and the power management thing where you can choose whether you want to see a time or a percentage. Small touch, but it's wonderful and I love it. Active noise canceling, 5 out of 10. It's not the most effective, but it's effective enough. Battery life, 8 out of 10. At 22 hours with active noise canceling on and 28 without it, these have strong battery life as well as great power management overall. Additional features, 10 out of 10. The only real additional feature, honestly, is Find My Headphones, but I gotta tell you, that's enough. I don't see something like that in headphones 5 or 10 times the price, so those guys gotta step it up. That was cool in itself, especially me, because I lose stuff all the time, so that, gold. Value for the dollar. 9 out of 10. At $60, these went beyond most of what I expected. Overall score, 7 out of 10. For under $100, these are a solid choice. When it comes to other options, I'm going to take a look at anything under $100 as being sort of on par with these. For that, take a look at the Soundcore by Anchor Life Q20 and Q30, the Cohen E7 or E7 Pro, and the One Audio Super EQ S1. If you want to bump it up some with the same type of sound, but you want maybe higher quality and higher fidelity in some areas, take a look at the Beats Solo 3, the Urbanista Miami, the Plantronics BackBeat Pro 2, or even the Sony XM3s. Because prices change all the time, I've included affiliate product links below to all these products to help you in your research. So now, should you buy these? They sit in an interesting position, so I'm not sure whether to recommend them yet. These have a great style, but the sound is muddier than I would like. There are others in this price range that actually have a clearer sound, and although they don't have as nice of a look, if sound is all you care about, then sound is all you care about. For me, a huge bonus on these was that they actually look nice though. They actually look like something that I don't mind having around. And I'm not gonna be wearing these outside necessarily, not all the time, but they also don't look like they belong to somebody half my age. Somebody a quarter my age. I would give them an immediate buy recommendation at $60 except for one thing. If you tend to get a lot of interruptions like text messages, the fact that the music just stops will become infuriating. You will hate these if you hate that. Now, would I buy these for myself? Yes, as a spare set. I don't think that I'd want to make these my primary drivers just because of the comfort issues, but as a secondary set, a spare set just to kind of have in bed or something, or maybe to take with me on a trip, sure, why not? I would also go ahead and give these to others because at $60, they're not very pricey and you're still getting a good quality product. In fact, these have been my favorite headphones under $150. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is NorbReviews, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that I exist. And if you want to see more, go ahead and hit subscribe or just check out the channel. Until next time.